A puppet-filled comedy follows a group of 20-somethings seeking their purpose in the big city. Winner of the Tony Triple Crown for Best Musical, Best Score, and Best Book, Avenue Q is part flesh, part felt, and packed with heart. And joining us now to tell us more about the show is one of the stars of the show, Princeton, along with Joe Gallegos, the hand behind Princeton, and with the director, William Stafford. Thank you guys for joining us. So during the break, I was telling you guys that I was lucky enough to be able to see this off-Broadway in New York. I loved this show. So tell us what to expect.
Well, you know, with any show, particularly from my perspective as a director, the biggest challenge is to find a cast.
Right.
And you're going to expect a great show with this one. And like you said, back in New York, it won Tony Awards back in 2004.
Yeah.
And we've taken it to that level. And,
Yeah.
and this cast was amazing. I was very lucky to find a cast. You don't get to see puppet work that often in Albuquerque.
Exactly. So
And-
what was it like finding a cast who had this ability and skill?
Well, most of them didn't. There was only a couple cast members that didn't. So we started really early, and for that reason.
Yeah.
And they've taken it to that level. And luckily, we found Mickey Gamel, who is the puppeteer. She owned all the puppets, and she was able to build several of the puppets
Really?
for this show specifically. So we've been very lucky to find her, and we kept it local.
Cool.
And so Princeton and Joe have been having a blast.
Joe, what is your background? Excuse me, Princeton. What is
Okay.
what is your background in puppeteering?
Really, this is like the first time I've ever done it.
Really?
I don't really have any kind of experience with this whatsoever. This is like the first time I've ever worked with anything having to do with puppetry.
How do you like it?
It's really a blast. It's a little bit challenging at times, but I do have to say that it's more often than not, it's rewarding. Just getting to know that this is a skill that not too many people possess.
Yeah.
And it just kind of makes me feel just a little bit more accomplished about another level of aspect that you get to take on with acting.
Yeah. So Princeton, how does this make you feel?
I'm more or less used to it.
Very cool. All right, so let's talk about the show. I know it's a bit explicit. So what did you think coming into it with that type of, should I say craziness?
It is craziness. Well, and you know, I have to say that when I found out that MTS was doing this show, I was very excited.
Yeah.
And so I put in my proposal, and when they picked me, I was even more excited because I knew that it was a challenge,
Right.
not only for the puppetry, but also for the content. It is not for kids. And we've said, you know, that is part of the marketing plan, that it is an adult show. And in the industry, they think of it as the adult version of Sesame Street.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so, you know, it's very explicit and very fun, and the songs, they're very poignant and
Yeah.
touching, and
It's smart.
yeah, it's very smart,
really
and it's
smart.
about the 20-something, early 30-somethings just surviving in New York.
Yeah.
And it's the combination of puppets and humans
Exactly.
living on Avenue Q, and
That's right.
so yeah, it's been very challenging, but very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
very,
how
very
has it
fun.
been for you, Princeton?
It's been a little bit of a challenge, but more or less it's just pretty much there.
Do you get along with your castmates?
I pretty much try to get along with everyone that I can. This one's a little bit of a challenge, but
Yeah.
it isn't,
Well, Princeton is the good guy in the show, right?
more or less.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, so people, how do we get tickets?
Well, you can get to the website, musicaltheatersw.com, 265-9119. Tickets are going fast, so I would recommend getting those tickets quick. And checking out the website also will give you a lot of information about the show and when it's running. It's running starting tomorrow night is opening night through the 31st of July.
Perfect.
And so I would recommend getting tickets quick because it's going fast.
Yeah, and it
Sure
should
is.
because this is a great show, guys. All right, so you can find out more about Avenue Q at casa.com, and we'll be right back.